home road doesn't seem to matter. Your team just seems to be firing on all cylinders. Another good start for your club, but obviously a very different atmosphere for them after being at home for 17 straight games. So what did you think of the start for your team on the road?
I thought our first period was really good. We were playing fast. We were managing the puck real good, making smart decisions, supporting the puck, and making plays when we had plays to be made, and just keeping it simple when we had nothing. So I thought our first period was really good. Second period, we a few times we didn't manage the puck the way we should, especially in the neutral zone. And then third period, I thought we were the better team on the ice. So real good game.
And contributions across the board, not necessarily from the people we've come to expect throughout the course of the season, even though they're rookies, and Jeff Malott scoring his 13th goal of the season. And then obviously some new faces in Ty Pelton-Bice and Dylan Sandberg, who's been with you obviously for the season, but scores his first goal as a pro. So what can you say about all of these players and the contributions you're getting from all across your team?
Yeah, well, it helps when you don't rely just on a few guys to create some offense, but it's more than that. It's the way we move. It's the way we play. We want them to join the rush. And talking about our D on that play, Dylan Sandberg is doing a real good job at reading where the puck is going, and it's a shot or a play from almost the goal line, but it's going to the net. But he gets that first touch. If he's not there, we don't get the puck, and there's no goal. And it was just a matter of time for him. Seen him on the power play tonight. We gave him a little bit of power play time. I thought he was doing really well. So, and he had a few shots. He hit the crossbar on the power play. And Pelton-Bice has real good hands. He's a player that I'm learning to know more about. But we see it in practices. That was a real power move on his goal. But he's got a real good vision. He can execute plays under pressure. And for Jeff Malott, he's been consistent. First year pro, very mature person, very powerful. His conditioning is outstanding. So, and he's driving the net. He's playing the game right. So all three of those guys. But when the contribution is coming from different guys, it's always good for them, and it's good for the team.
And speaking of contributions from guys, one guy who doesn't score a lot of goals, but he gets the game winner. And shortly after you guys give up 2 goals in about 35 seconds, Nelson Nogier, how much does it mean for this team when a guy like that who, averages about 1 goal a year ends up being able to kind of get your team back in it when it looked like Toronto was going to kind of regain some momentum?
Yeah, well, it was a key goal. Great play by Perfetti to delay and attacking from the corner and seeing Nogier open. And that's Nelson brings so much to the team just by his presence, his work ethic, his maturity, his leadership, and for him to get that goal, that's good for him. That's good for the team. The bench was really excited for him.
Coach, you pulled Mikael Burden after the 2 goals. Was there something specific that you saw that you didn't like, or what was your process in that and giving him the hook?
Well, he's very aggressive around the net, and we want that. We don't want to take that away from his game, but there's going to be a line, and I thought he was over aggressive, trying to touch every single puck, and he's a guy that has a lot of energy. And on that third goal against, he's the main responsible. And it was more than that, like a few actions, a few decisions that he's made. I didn't think he was as sharp as he is usually, and it's going to happen. And it's going to happen again. That's part of becoming a pro, and that's part of playing hockey. So I thought we needed that change, and I know Mikael will learn from that.
And you in his place comes in Cole Keller, and he doesn't face a lot of action, but all of a sudden it's a 6-on-3 for Toronto as they're trying to tie the game, and he stands tall for you. What has he meant in a role where he knows that he's not going to be the guy behind obviously Mikael Burden or Eric Comrie?
Well, he's pushing the pace in practices with his work habits. He's a guy that works extremely hard. He's very low maintenance, does his job. He's a real good pro, and he does it right. And when something like today happens and we need to pull the goalie, one part of me is thinking that I'm happy to do it for him, to give him a chance to play because he's doing it right. The guy you would have more from Rick Sanqua, our goalie coach, because he's spending a lot of time with him, but he's been improving. He's a big man, and for him to get the win and the way he played in the third period, especially on the 6-on-3 at the end there, that's good for his confidence, and that's good for us as well.
You know, Coach, I started off by talking about how your team's just on a roll and you're 8-0-0-1 in your last 9 games. Obviously, with COVID and the restrictions, you can't celebrate a win like this to kick off a road trip after playing at home for 17 straight games. So how do you as a coaching staff kind of reward these guys, get these guys, you know, that good feeling and keep it going, knowing that, again, there's so much that you can't do in a normal situation?
You know what? The funny part about this is this group there, and then the environment of our team right now is their reward is obviously the wins, but it's when everybody contributes. We're gonna have a team meal tonight, obviously social distance and everything that is related to COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna show up tomorrow at practice. We're gonna have a short and intense practice. But that's what they enjoy. They enjoy working hard. They enjoy supporting each other. And obviously we can't do any team activities, but we adjust. And our coaching style is really we're adjusting to how the team is playing. And they're working hard. They're playing hard. They're playing the same way, and they're playing the right way. So it's been really fun. Even on work days when we push them in practices, they're just taking advantage of every day. So it's a different year. We're very lucky to play hockey and to work, but it's a real good group. Those guys are really exciting to work with because of the way they're reacting to the challenges. And our record right now is really good, but nobody's talking about it. We're just we won the game. The job is done, and then let's focus and think about tomorrow.
You know, and one last question for me, and it has to do with the taxi squad and the way guys are reassigned from the Jets. Have you found that that's been almost like a benefit, even though it's kind of unusual because some of those players would normally be with you, but to get a guy like CJ Cease, who's so eager to get back in the lineup after being out, hasn't played since April, I think 12th. You know, Leon was obviously injured, but is there almost a little bit of a benefit when you get these guys back? Nelson Noje, obviously another example of a guy who had a long layoff, got back into the lineup. So are you seeing a slight benefit in the energy level, getting these guys back into your lineup after, you know, maybe a little bit of a longer layoff than they'd be used to in a normal year?
Yeah, well, absolutely. And for different reasons. One of the reasons would be spending some time with the big boys and the Jets and being part of the routine and how they practice and how quick they move on the ice and the execution. And then it gives us a chance to play different players. And then when those guys come back after being called up, they're excited. They want to play games. So there's a lot of benefit to it for sure.